The Mantid story does not usually begin with a spaceship. It begins with a presence in the room, tall, still, watching from the edge of the encounter like it does not need to explain itself. In experiencer accounts, the mantis being is rarely the thing rushing around. It is not the worker. It is not the technician. It is the one standing back. And that is why people remember it. The gray gets the face. The black eyes, the small body, the shape everybody knows. But behind some of the strangest abduction stories, there is another figure. Taller, older, insect-like, almost ceremonial. A being described as calm in a way that feels less like peace and more like control. People call them mantids, mantis beings, insectoids. Sometimes they are described with narrow heads, long arms, compound eyes, and folded hands. Sometimes they wear something like a robe. Sometimes they do not move at all. The reports do not agree on every detail. They almost never do, but the pattern is hard to miss. When the mantid appears, the story gets organized. Smaller beings perform the procedure. The room feels clinical. The witness feels observed on more than one level, as if the body is only part of what is being studied. In abduction literature, researchers like David Jacobs wrote about hierarchies inside these accounts. Small grays, taller figures, and insect-like presences connected to the most disturbing claims about control, memory, and hybrid program lore. That does not make the claims proven. It tells us what people kept reporting when they tried to describe the thing behind the thing. And the mantid is often described as telepathic. Not a voice, not language, more like a thought placed inside the mind with no footsteps. Witnesses describe knowing what it wants before anything is said. They describe emotional pressure, sudden calm, and the terrible intimacy of being understood by something that does not feel human. That is the engine of the mantid legend. Intelligence without warmth. Some accounts happen in the bright room setting. Glass, tables, light, smaller beings moving around while the mantid watches. Some happen in bedrooms, where the impossible stands in the doorway at 3 in the morning. Some are stranger. A wall that becomes an entrance, a figure appearing where no figure should fit, an ordinary room turning into a threshold. Then there are long-running contact stories. The artist David Huggins became known for painting decades of alleged encounters, including insect-like and non-human beings woven through a personal mythology of contact, intimacy, and impossible memory. Whether a viewer reads that as testimony, art, psychology, or all three, the power is in the same thing. The account is not a single sighting. It is a lifetime story. That is what makes the mantid different from a monster of the week alien. It is not here for a jump scare. It is here for the audit. In the stories, the mantid often feels like a supervisor, a biologist, a custodian, or something older than the gray system itself. It looks insect-like, but the fear is not about insects. The fear is about hierarchy. Who is giving the orders? Who is keeping the memory? Who knows the full plan? And this is where the lore gets dangerous and fascinating. Some experiencers describe the mantids as cold controllers. Others describe them as detached healers. Some say they are part of a breeding or hybrid story. Others say they are teachers, guardians, or consciousness technicians trying to adjust humanity without terrifying us completely. The same figure can be priest, scientist, prison guard, surgeon, and witness. That contradiction is the point. Because if the grays feel like the face of the encounter, the mantids feel like the structure behind it. They are the reason the room has rules. They are the reason the silence feels intentional. They are the reason a witness wakes up years later and still remembers not the procedure, but the one who watched it happen. Maybe the mantid is an entity. Maybe it is a mask the mind gives to authority under trauma. Maybe it is folklore evolving in real time. Maybe it is a symbol that grew because human beings already know, deep down, how alien insects feel. Ancient, efficient, patient, perfectly adapted to a world that does not need us at the center. But in the accounts, the mantid does not ask to be believed. It simply stands there, behind the glass, behind the grays, behind the missing time. And if the witness story is a door, the mantid is not the hand knocking. It is the one on the other side deciding when the door opens.